Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield. I'm the Get Fit Guy, and in today's episode, you're going to get 4 ways to burn more calories on a road trip. Now, last week, while driving from Butte, Montana to Spokane, Washington, a 280-mile road trip, me and my friend shot an entertaining video on my Snapchat channel over at bengreenfieldfitness.com/Snapchat. And it was a workout that we called the 50-50-50. It went like this. Every 50 miles, we would stop and do 50 burpees and 50 kettlebell swings. In this case, we just traded off as we arrived at each stop, meaning that at one stop, one person would start with the burpees and then do the swings, and then at the next stop, vice versa. Of course, we could have chosen any 2 exercises for the 50-50-50, like exercises that didn't necessarily require equipment such as a kettlebell, for example, jumping jacks, push-ups, bodyweight squats, lunge jumps, you name it. Well, about 330 repetitions later, we arrived home extremely satisfied at having gotten an amazing workout during what otherwise would have been a quite sedentary road trip. And of course, there are plenty of places you can do bodyweight exercises, like gas stations, rest stops, and even just gravel pullouts on the side of the road. We found that we could squeeze these exercises in just about anywhere in a span of around 5 minutes. And if you don't want to keep a kettlebell in your car, perhaps you're one of those people who likes to save every little bit of weight so that you aren't spending any extra gas money, a suspension trainer similar to something like a TRX is something you can also throw into the mix to give you an option for things like pull-ups, rows, balance exercises, etc. Well, I want to give you 3 more ways you can stay fit and burn more calories even if you're stuck in a car or on a road trip. Number 1 is to work your grip. I keep a hand gripping device called a Captains of Crush, along with something called a hand expander band in the glove box of my car. And when I'm traveling, I'll grab the hand grip strengthener and do 10 squeezes for my right hand, then 10 squeezes for my left hand. Then I'll take that elastic hand expander band and complete 10 hand openers for the right hand and 10 hand openers for the left hand. I'll go back and forth 3 times through. Surprisingly, you tend to actually contract other muscles of your body, like your core, your butt, your shoulders, and your back, when you're working your grip. So it's not only a good way to get a stronger grip, which comes in handy if you're doing things like lifting weights or racing obstacle races, but it's also a way to burn just a few extra calories by engaging extra muscle groups as you sit in your car. You can keep these kind of hand and grip strengthening devices in a briefcase, purse, or book bag and use them in places like, say, an airplane too. Now, number 2 is to breathe. Not only do I always make it a point to engage in deep diaphragmatic breathing when I'm driving, working, exercising, or anything else, and I actually have an entire Get Fit Guy episode about how to train your body to automatically do that kind of deep diaphragmatic breathing, and I will put a link to that episode if you just go to quickanddirtytips.com and follow the link to this episode number 297. I travel, however, also with a device that allows me to train my inspiratory muscles, expiratory muscles, and diaphragm. This device is called a power lung, and it's easy to use. You just breathe into it as hard as possible, and then you breathe in as hard as possible. So one example of a workout I'll do with this device is to do 10 repetitions of 3 seconds in and 3 seconds out every time I pass a mile marker while driving. And this is also a great way to warm up if you're driving to the gym, to a workout, to a race, etc. Now, number 3 is isometrics. And it may seem silly, but basic isometric exercises, similar to the squeeze and hold exercises I discuss in the podcast episode, How to Get More Lean Muscle with Isometric Training, can actually get you quite fit and even maintain muscle mass. Some of my favorite isometrics include butt squeezes and Kegel exercises, in which you literally squeeze your crotch as though you're stopping the flow of urine. Super slow steering wheel rows and pushes, which would be pulling yourself very slowly into the steering wheel and then pushing yourself very slowly away from it. Ab squeezes, and if I'm at a stoplight or stopped, the good old bicep flex or chest flex. Sure, you may get some funny looks posing like a bodybuilder in your car, but at least you're staying healthy, fit, and full of energy, right? Rather than slumped over listening to Justin Bieber. You'll be surprised at how much energy that you have when you complete a road trip and how much less stiff, sore, and tired you are after driving hundreds of miles when you include some of the tips you've just learned. And if you have more questions, comments, or feedback about how to stay fit or burn more calories on a road trip, then you can join the conversation over at facebook.com/getfitguy. That's facebook.com/getfitguy. And until next time, I'm Ben Greenfield, the Get Fit guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.